Hello, friends, enemies, and strangers, to episode 26 of the Blind Alley podcast. I am one of your hosts, Ross Flaherty.
And I am one of your other hosts, Stephen Downey.
Lovely to see you again, Stephen.
Lovely to see you again, Ross.
Today, we have some lovely stuff coming up. Some talk about photography, filmmaking, other bits and bobs from the creative minds of Stephen and Ross.
We do stuff other than podcasts.
We do.
We are passionate blokes, and we're going to share those passions today on this week's episode of the Blind Alley podcast.
Stay tuned. How are you getting on, Stephen?
I am not too bad, Ross Flaherty. How are you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad.
The sun is out.
Sun is out.
The boys are inside.
Yes, the boys are inside with the curtains closed.
With the curtains closed. We're really getting all that vitamin D into us. Oh, God. Even if we weren't inside doing a podcast, you have an FYP to do.
Yes.
It's sickening.
Yeah.
It's sickening that the sun's coming out. We're kind of into spring now.
Yeah.
We're nipping in. The sun is coming out. Lovely weather. And Ross is inside doing FYPs.
Yeah.
Stephen's inside editing podcast stuff. Oh yeah, just to remind the audience at home, another short episode, hopefully.
Yes, one of our 30 minutes. Well, the first 30-minute one, really.
Yeah, the last episode.
The last was a special, so...
I hope you enjoyed that. I enjoyed it. Let's sing in this ep. Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully, definitely.
Also, Ross, while I was editing that episode,
yes.
I noticed something interesting.
Tell me more.
That Stephen fella does an awful lot of talking, doesn't he?
What a little bastard.
I'm going to, just for the audience's sake more than anyone, try and give my co-host Ross Flaherty just a little bit more time to get his little genius ideas in. You know, you have a lot to say, Ross. You're a smart little man. I want to get your thoughts. Your 2 cents. Look at the Ross's 2 cents, eh?
Yeah.
All of this commentary just ruins the fact I'm supposed to be letting you talk.
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, I love the sound of his own voice, that guy.
So anyway, enough about you, Stephen.
In
case anyone's wondering, we have the curtains closed because yes, the light is great, but knowing our weather, we could get a cloud, and then our exposure is off on the cameras, and it's just a pain in the arse. So that's why we just try and block it out.
The first video we did, we didn't have your big light. We had the natural sunlight.
Yes,
and by the end of the episode,
clouds and stuff, and it was getting darker, and it was
we was more controlled. And on the topic of before we go into that, we have Bastet and Jeremy here with us.
Yeah, Jeremy,
the Blind Alley mascots.
Jeremy hasn't made an appearance in quite a while, actually.
Yeah. Bastet's always been in the background there for the last couple of episodes. Jeremy is Ross's 3D printed frog.
Yeah.
And Bastet is my little fortune cat.
Yeah,
the ones that wave, solar powered. So he's light powered, not really solar powered, is it?
Well,
there's no sun in here. Anyway, speaking of managing and light,
yes,
we did a bit of photography recently, didn't we?
Yeah, let's start with what you were doing. You can talk about it in general terms.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything for anything, but there's a project coming up, an exciting new project, not affiliated with Blind Alley.
No.
That I was roped into helping with. But yeah, we were doing a little shoot for it. It involved some costumes and props. And it was the first time we'd done like a quote-unquote professional shoot in a while.
Yes.
A lot of this portraits you like to shoot. I don't really shoot portraits. Apart from Tara, the old significant other, I don't really shoot a lot of portraits. You like shooting portraits, but mostly outside.
Yeah.
And it's bloody lovely to have them inside. This is what I was, see, the person who was managing this project wanted me to shoot the portraits for this thing outside.
Yeah.
But I told him that, look at, when you shoot inside, you have control over everything.
Yeah.
And you don't have the wind, you don't have people walking around. There's a costume shoot, so you don't want to be walking people around outside. You have control over the light. It's just, the consistency is there. And that really flourishes in post-production. When I took all the photos, went upstairs, and it's like, you can do so much more than if you were outside fucking around. And
see, I think part of the reason why I enjoy portraits outdoors, well, it's just nice to get out, just the weather's somewhat decent. But it also, usually it's less equipment. I mean, occasionally I think I've had maybe a reflector with me. Rarely, usually it's just me and the camera and the talent.
That's it.
But I'd be inclined to take so many more portraits inside if I just had a setup that I could just leave up, like a studio setup left up with softboxes and flashes, and the results you get are so nice.
That's been the Blind Alley dream for so long. Since like the inception of the show, episode 1, we're like, fuck, wouldn't it be lovely to have a studio?
Yeah.
And we'd happily just live in the studio.
Oh yeah. I'd happily live on a mattress on the floor in the corner if it meant we could have a studio set up.
If there was like a wide open studio, I'll take one mattress, you take another mattress. If there's a kitchen, a small kitchen and a bathroom, happy as a clamp. Alternatively, we could just get like at some point we're going to end up living together.
Yeah, hopefully.
And not with 4 other people that need to use the sitting room.
And we can we can take any furniture we don't need in the sitting room.
Yeah,
we can move that away. We just need two nice. These chairs are kind of shite looking.
They're not particularly comfortable. People at home, they're just old.
They're fine. They're comfort wise, they're fine, but they just don't. There's nothing aesthetically pleasing about how they look.
No. And on this camera here, if on YouTube, sorry if you're listening to this at home, sorry, but if you're on YouTube. I'm pointing. We're at the wide camera angle. The chairs, it's never look good. There's that dirty, sickly orange color.
Yeah, the big old lumps and just a weird fucking yellowish.
So the Blind Alley studio. What's called the Blind Alley, probably. Oh my god, it'd be so good to set up a studio.
Yeah.
Oh,
and the same studio we could sort of have it so that the podcast is set up on one side, and maybe the other side there's a backdrop or something that we can that it can easily. You just maybe move a couple of flashes around, and now you can take photos and stuff.
Yeah, when we were in Photosoc, UL Photosoc, fantastic society. If anyone is in UL and interested at all in photography, even just on your phone. UL Photosoc. I'm not affiliated with them anymore. I recently dropped off the committee just because I was just like a bad smell just lingering around. They have everything covered and I wasn't really helping much. So I dropped off. But yeah, fantastic society. But they have professional equipment for professional studio shoots, and in UL, the student union is ample space for a shoot setup and nice huge backdrop.
Yeah.
Oh man,
it's fantastic, but it suffers from the same problem, and the stuff can't be left up.
It's not permanent.
And they're lovely stands and stuff, and like a proper heavy duty like roller setup for rolling down backdrops and stuff.
Huge backdrop.
That it makes no sense if you're just putting it up and taking it down.
Well, this is it. UL, the multi-million-dollar fucking company that it is, we're building another students' union, and hopefully Photosoc will have their own room.
Yes.
Because at the moment they have a Photosoc room in the current students' union.
Yes.
But it was basically a dark room initially.
Yeah.
So
it was built to be a dark room. It wasn't built to be anything else.
If too many people are in there, people start passing out. It's so small.
It's also really warm in there as well.
It's fucking
way too warm.
Anyway, that aside. Yeah, a permanent studio setup would be sick.
Yeah,
it'd be so much more. I feel like we'd be so much more productive. And imagine this:
most of the time that goes into the podcast and these videos or whatever is the setup and the takedown.
Yeah, people don't understand, and
it's as least as long as the podcast itself, if not longer.
It just lights, cameras, and audio, but like it's longer than it's just the small things in between. Like putting a light on a stand is fine, but finding a place to put it, and once you've put it there. That's one light stand. There's 4 little tripods in front of me, and they're all bumping off each other at some point. Try moving one around. It just gets in the way. If you had some space, need space.
Yeah.
We just need space. How would you feel if we had a huge backdrop and just put chairs on the backdrop, and we just shot the podcast on the backdrop?
What do you mean?
Just like as if it's like a photo shoot, like a big, nice black backdrop, and we just put the chairs in front of the backdrop, so it looks like we're sitting on a photo shoot set.
I don't know.
Wouldn't that be
interesting?
Nice?
You know what I think would be lovely is
a big round table.
I was going to suggest what do you call it? It's called something along the lines of like an infinity cove or something, beach or something. It's where you have it's where the backdrop on the floor. Usually these are white, but it's where the backdrop on the floor are seamlessly integrated. So it's built to have a curve between the wall behind, say, on the floor and the sides.
Part of the wall, isn't it?
Oh,
usually. Yeah, that would be nice.
And you build it so it essentially has 3 sides and a floor to it.
Yeah.
But it's all seamless. So when you light it properly, you can't see any edges or whatever.
Yeah. That'd be. I mean, I'll be happy with just having a backdrop.
Yeah.
Shoot for stars, and if you don't reach them, you land on.
No, but a backdrop, and you just have some maybe nice props set up. You know.
I know, that's it. Like, and all these YouTubers, it's funny.
It doesn't take an awful lot of effort if you just have to set it up. Like, put a lot of effort into setting it up once, and then just leave it that way.
Yeah, as opposed to having to put like a medium amount of effort setting this fucking setup up.
Exactly.
Not a lot of effort. Anyway, that aside, we have projects we're working on. Obviously, you're working on Zen Master's Guide to Buttered Noodles on our YouTube channel. If you haven't seen it,
I'm happy how the pilot went. Obviously, a number of things I know can be improved for the subsequent episodes.
Yeah, it is a pilot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So episode 1 hasn't been released.
It's not even episode 1 yet. Exactly. Episode 1 might not be released for a little bit. But that's fine.
But the interest of that, actually, where obviously if you haven't seen it, go watch it.
It's very good.
Part of the intro there is I walk across a log and it reveals the title behind me, which just involved it was just a simple mask that I needed to track across. And I'd never done any sort of masking before for video, and honestly, I thought it'd be a pain in the arse. But it was simple, but just very time consuming. Yeah. You know, you just have to go through and make sure every frame is fine. But the actual process is incredibly simple.
Yeah, we were going to do a lot more masking for that intro, but
no, I'll reevaluate it for the first episode, and a couple of bits might be changed.
That'll definitely help. I'm credited as camera, but I'm also bringing a lot of ideas to the table.
Yeah.
The idea to shoot on that log was my idea.
It was actually. Well, I mean, there was no point in going into what we're all doing, and I could put in that. Edit it or whatever. It doesn't, you know.
It's a team project.
Exactly.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. And speaking of seemingly hard tasks that might just turn out to be monotonous and just time consuming.
Yes.
For my own project, I have to do a little bit of. Yeah, a little bit of that too. I'm not going to give away too much, but not so much masking, but the project I have in mind, it's. I wonder, because it's going to be, people have compared yours to the joys of painting with Bob Ross.
Well, at least one person, which I was very flattered by.
But yeah, you do get those vibes. It's kind of just kind of not calming, but kind of tranquil. You don't have quite the same vibe as Bob Ross. Unfortunately, you share a name.
But I wasn't going for that anyway. But
I thought with the set, I thought very much that was kind of what we were taking. Like, there's a fucking tranquil river in the background. We're cooking outdoors. I thought that was kind of the whole vibe we were going for initially.
Well, I wasn't necessarily like, I didn't necessarily mind if it was particularly tranquil. I just wanted, okay, A, was about cooking, me cooking stuff, and B, the location needed to be somewhere that was close to us, so we could actually bring the equipment there and it wouldn't take forever. And that also looked like it was, in the wild somewhere, essentially. And just, it was a nice backdrop.
Somewhat picturesque.
Yeah.
But mine is not going to be anywhere near as straightforward, let's say. It's going to be a little tiny bit out there. Conceptual, let's say.
Yeah. I look forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it too. I think I might just go out and fuck around and shoot my own little pilot just to see.
Okay.
I'm not going to release it, obviously. It's just like a fucking proof of concept more than anything.
Right, okay.
But yeah, I'll need to do something with it eventually. You might as well start. It goes back to what we were talking about last week, is tasks go by a lot quicker once you've actually started them and get some momentum going. Not last week, but a previous week. But yeah, look forward to more stuff coming in the future. We've decided as a fucking conglomerate that I don't know, podcasting isn't our forte. We do like it, but we're just far more passionate about video stuff. Yeah,
and we've always been more passionate about filmmaking.
Yeah.
But
we both have projects, like big projects that we want to work on.
Yes.
It's funny because I like my script for mine, like I have a solid draft done that I'm happy with.
Yes.
But you always seem to be further into production, despite the fact you've written maybe like.
I don't know if I am. I just. I've written almost none of the script.
You're far more production focused, despite the fact that not much has been written about it yet.
Yes, well, mainly just because mine is just logistically more difficult.
Yeah,
involves more people, right? getting all of those people to a possibly fairly remote location, shooting for, I would hopefully try and get it all done in a weekend, right? Or something like that, or maybe a week. But for my shoot, I want different kinds of weather, right? So I want some, at least a day that's dry. Maybe it isn't sunny, but dry. I want another day that's absolutely torrential rain.
You might have to shoot different months.
Well, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. I might have to shoot some of it during the summer, some of it during the winter. Not necessarily mean this summer or this winter. I don't know when.
No. I don't know. This summer, probably not. It's going to take you more than a couple of months to get this script down.
Yes, but it's possible that I could shoot some this winter. Well, I also, for this, want to rent a camera for it.
Yeah.
Or unless I, have someone to borrow a very nice camera from.
Yeah. Well, the camera you have is pretty nice, but not cinema quality. Because if you're going to put this much effort into it, you want to get the top quality footage as humanly possible. Yes,
exactly. So I'd be prepared to pay to rent, a Blackmagic Pocket 6K or something for a weekend or something like that. That's the plan. And also I'll pay to feed people. I won't really be able to pay. No. I don't know how much money I'm going to be able to put into this.
I know.
But also, I need to consider transport. If I can get all these people out to somewhere, well, really, I can't be expecting them to pay to get there.
I imagine it'd be a crew of less than 10 people, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So two cars would do you. Assuming two of the cast members can drive.
Yeah, because they're two main characters.
Yeah.
And then a skeleton crew.
Yeah.
So definitely a couple of cars. Yeah. That's why I've been considering logistics, even though it's not written yet.
Why don't you take this opportunity? Would you like to take this opportunity to throw out a crew casting call? Because you're looking for specific people, but you're not just going to bring anyone.
No.
I'm borderline humbled that I'm allowed on set. You
see, I'm trying to get a talented crew of people that I know I can rely on and trust to do whatever job.
It's like any job. You need to, as a crew member, you need to bring value to a set. You can't just be knocking around just for shits and giggles.
Yeah. One of the main emphasis on this is that I want this to go into my cinematography reel. Mm-hmm. So I want to be the DP on it, but I also want to direct it because it is sort of my brainchild. So that so I definitely need other people who I know I can trust to concentrate on other things that I'm not concentrating on. I also want, and this is going to benefit sort of Blind Alley channel as well. I want someone dedicated to behind the scenes for it, and so after releasing the film, then maybe have a video or two of the actual shooting process of it.
Scenes. Yeah, that'd be nice.
Because I love watching that stuff online. I love seeing the final product and then seeing what sort of stuff they did.
Especially for budget amateur filmmaking, where it's actually accessible to some people.
Yeah,
it's not
and seeing what sort of creative problem solving people did and stuff.
Because the equipment we're using, it's not out of this world.
No,
and the equipment you'd be using, it's going to be high quality, but Film Sock has child versions of everything you'd be using in terms of mics and cameras. We have a Blackmagic, the 2K.
No, it's only 1080p.
Really?
Yes.
Ugh. But it's still good. You get a good image out of it.
Yes.
If you can use it. And
that camera is problematic in every other way, though.
Yeah, I know. That's a camera. Okay, for those of you who don't know, you can just shoot on your phone, and that's fine. But if you want to go really deep into grading, color grading, making it look the way you want it to look, you need to shoot it in a file format that allows you to do those changes.
Yeah, whether it be in some flavor raw or maybe a log format.
It just basically means that the image you're getting is like someone looking at it might see like it's flat, like desaturated.
It's really grey,
like, it's almost black and white. But then we plug that into our little editing softwares and we can fuck around with the colours properly.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas if you shot it on your phone, the red values are going to be like touched by whatever iPhone profile they have.
Yeah.
And it's going to be more difficult to work with.
Yeah, and if you try and do anything with that in post, it starts falling apart.
And the image, see, that's the problem we're having with this wide camera we're using now.
Yes,
is that it doesn't have a nice flat profile. It's touching it a little bit. We've done our best to fix it, but it's touching up everything a little bit. In our past wide videos, like the wide profile of the wide shot of our previous videos, these chairs look rank because it's doing something weird to the oranges.
Yes.
But with the camera we're talking about earlier, the Blackmagic camera the Filmmaking have, it gives a nice flat profile.
Yeah.
But like the battery life on it is horrific.
Yes.
It takes up a shit ton of storage space. It's just the screen is bad, but we have like external monitors. If you really wanted to get a nice image and you're willing to deal with battery life and storage,
it's the type of camera that you need to rig it up.
Yeah, a little bit.
To get the most out of it.
Yeah. But like, to be fair, we do have storage capabilities and we have a shit ton of batteries for it. It just before you roll, you need to make sure everything is wiped and everything is fully charged.
Yeah.
And these are the problems that people come into, even us, like shooting these videos. Before every shoot, we need to make sure there's one camera battery charged, 2 camera battery charged, 3 camera battery charged. This light behind me is charged. That light is into the mains, so it's fine. You can make sure this thing has power. These are just the small problems that a behind the scenes feature would enlighten up and coming filmmakers.
Yeah. Just on the subject of behind the scenes, I think you follow it as well. There's an Instagram account called Shitty Rigs.
Oh yeah,
right. Yeah, and so the premise is just showcasing people would submit rigs and stuff to photos of rigs or whatever that are kind of shitty. So maybe it's something is just gaff taped to something with a load of tape or whatever. They're not particularly good rigs, but. Now, something about it that on one hand annoys me, but on the other hand is great, is that plenty of the rigs, I wouldn't call them shitty per se. I think they're just very creative ways of doing something without very expensive dedicated gear.
It's innovative problem solving.
Yeah.
But also
some of them are shitty.
Shit, yeah.
But other ones are, pretty good.
Yeah.
And without spending a ton of money on a specific bit of gear to do that.
That's it. That's it. Oh boy, Filmmaking has so much potential. It still does, but we just need to start building. It's tough.
I'm out of there now.
You're out of there. I should be out of there, but I just can't let it go. I want to leave it in a place better than it started. I feel like it's there, it's not where I want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. People at home who aren't interested in filmmaking or photography, just don't be too intimidated. It's not as complicated as it really seems. Once you boil down all the small problems, it's pretty fun.
Yeah. Still a lot of work, though.
It is a little bit of work. But it's worth it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it? Isn't it? I hope so. But yeah, I look forward to more stuff in the future. From the YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, I don't know, man. What do we have to do? There's a brand new show up there. You have these podcasts on the YouTube.
Yeah.
What are you waiting for? Hit that motherfucking like button. God. Go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe. Hit that bell.
Stop. Don't say go ahead and do it.
Go ahead and... Do you want some productivity tips, Ross?
Yeah, give me some productivity tips. Slap them over here.
Are you a procrastinator?
Yes.
Are you like me and procrastinate a lot?
Yes.
Are you? I'll just really have a load of shit to do, but don't do it.
Yes.
And we spend a lot of time at lunch.
Yes.
Me and Ross are like, okay, we'll go for lunch, we'll talk about what we do for the podcast, we'll get rolling, and we'll all be done. And we spend like fucking 2.5 hours just eating sandwiches.
Was that an exaggeration or not?
I genuinely don't know. And that's the problem.
Yes.
Piece of advice I've heard. I haven't tried it yet, but I want to.
Okay.
As soon as you wake up in the morning, if you want to get shit done, let's say it's the weekend, you're not going to work or anything, just do something really shit. Just do something that you don't want to do. Okay. Whether it be like a workout or a cold shower or just like a chore that you've been putting off. Just get it done. And then once you have that done, everything else you need to do seems like a lot easier to do. Once you've put in the effort to do the first thing, that's that momentum we're talking about. That's what you need.
Yeah.
I might try a combo of exercise and a cold shower, because I do quite like a cold shower after I go for a jog.
Right.
A jog, and this belly isn't getting any smaller. So yeah, what about you? Would you try? What would your uncomfortable objective be for the morning?
At the very least, right? Well, I say at the very least, but it is very difficult, right? Is to get up early.
Oh, Ross, getting up early, fucking hell.
Right? So let's say I get up before 8 a.m, right? Well, you know what? You can keep your cold showers and your jog or whatever, because fuck me, is getting up early difficult.
Getting out of bed. For
me anyway. I know some people. I know some people who are very much morning people, and boy, am I envious.
Yeah, I used to be a morning person, but then I don't know. Like Tara gets up at like 5:45, something crazy like that, and I used to get up with her, but then I do that, and then it's like come 12 o'clock, I'm napping again. It's just tough to stay awake once you are up then. Because once you are up, you think, oh, pat myself on the back, I've done well there, deserve a nap. And you're back in bed. What I've heard was, and you're not supposed to do this,
okay,
is social media, stay off it for the first hour of your day.
Right, yeah.
But I find, if I roll over off my phone and go on Twitter, like my brain wakes up and I'm absorbing information and news, and I start to get the ball rolling.
Right.
Or even if I go on TikTok, I'm scrolling and then I'm up.
Yeah.
I don't know how people...
Well, yeah, I suppose, scrolling through your phone or whatever, even if it's not recommended, it's not going to put you to sleep.
It does wake you up, like.
Yeah.
If you're, like, reading stuff and you're looking at news and what's going on in the world, and, what, Kylie Jenner won't pay for her fucking makeup artist surgery? That's crazy. What the fucking bitch? If you haven't heard about this, she's worth about $1 billion, $900 million, and her makeup artist, who she's had for years, got into a car crash and did an operation, a surgery that cost $60,000, and she paid like 10 grand towards it and put the rest of it on GoFundMe. She could have paid for that 15,000 times, but instead she paid a percentage and put the rest up on other people help. Come on, I only have $900 million. What
the fuck?
That shit, reading that shit in the morning will wake you up. Just so you can go on and start shouting at her on Twitter. That's like if Ross got into a car accident that cost 50 cents to fix him and I gave him a cent.
Yeah.
Like, I just pay the 50 cents and he'd be okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, or alternatively, in terms of getting up in the morning, if you don't want to go on social media because it's poison, toxic shit, and you don't want to see, oh, what the fuck, Micheál Martin's shouting on about it now? What the fuck is Boris Johnson saying? Oh, Jesus Christ. At least Biden is staying quiet. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Alarmy is an app we both used at one point.
Yes.
It's an alarm app. And after a while, you will think it was developed by the devil. Because basically, it's the alarm. It'll go off and it's not going to shut off until you've done some kind of task.
Yes, and you can change. So you can set what task it does, or you can have it doing. It has to be multiple tasks you do.
Yeah, the one that I used to try was you have to solve a couple of sums.
Yeah,
multiplication sums, and it's like, what's 4 by 6 by like 12, and it's like, oh Jesus, I really start thinking.
Yeah,
or just shake it.
Oh yeah. I tried that one before, where you have to vigorously shake your phone.
Yeah.
For, I think you can have it as like do it for 30 seconds or something.
Yeah. I've also seen that you can set like a QR code. You can put a QR code somewhere in your house and it won't stop until you go up and scan the QR code.
You actually have to get up, go somewhere, scan it. Yeah.
Back in the day, there were these things. It was like an alarm clock that had 4 jigsaw pieces on it, and when the alarm went off, the jigsaw piece would be shot randomly in the air. You have to get up and put them back in for the alarm to go off. But people would just fuck the alarm clock off.
I know there's there was something similar along those lines of some alarm clock that would like just fall off the bedside table and roll under the bed or something.
You have to get up and look for it. Oh man, what a fucking but like those alarm clocks can easily be hurled at a wall. Whereas it's not going to hurl my phone at a wall.
Absolutely
I'll turn off my phone. Yeah. But it also won't let you on as far as I knew, it wouldn't let me use my calculator. If I tried to open a calculator app, it wouldn't let me.
Oh, interesting.
So you can't just go into your calculator and do this.
As far as I was aware, from when I tried it, and I think I only tried it for a couple of days until I uninstalled it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I was like, fuck this shit. But I think you can have it so that you can't unlock your phone or anything until you've done this. Yeah. So you can't stop it.
Speaking of that, this is an extra piece of unsolicited advice.
All right.
Productivity advice. I heard this a while ago, and it's generally true, but not in all cases. Mm-hmm. But a lot of the time, the first thing you think of in these kind of things is the right thing to do, and you kind of talk yourself out of it. Like if you think, man, I should go for a jog, you should probably just go for a jog.
Yes.
That's your first instinct. And then you're like, I don't want to go for a jog, I can do it later. No, just go for the jog. Or it's like, okay, I need this alarm app, I'll keep the app. And it's like, actually, maybe I'll uninstall it. No, just keep the app. Dude, people know what the right thing to do is. Just do the right thing.
As uncomfortable as it might be.
Yeah, I had that on my wallpaper on my phone for a long time. Just do the right thing. You know what it is, just do it.
Yeah.
I think that's all the time we have today, Ross.
Yeah, I will wrap up there.
Nice short ep. Ross talked a whole lot.
So much.
Thank God, right?
They'll be listening to it and they'll be like, that Ross lad talks an awful lot. Would you ever shut up? I want to hear Stephen more.
That's not going to be the case.
No, that's not going to be the case.
I hope you enjoyed this episode. Last week, we went a bit wild. I sang a lot of Luke Kelly.
Yes.
And a little bit of Christy Moore, and it was nice, and I got drunk, and it was good.
Yeah.
This episode, more down to earth, we're talking about our hobbies, our likes, our interests.
Yeah.
I've been Stephen Downey.
And I've been Ross Flaherty.
See you next week.
Bye now.
Bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye.